everybody, and welcome to my review of Halloween. Not to be confused with Halloween or Halloween. So this new installment in the franchise is directed by David Gordon Green, and it stars Jamie Lee Curtis once again returning to her role as Laurie Strode, the role that basically shot her to super duper stardom and made her famous. And just to add to all the confusion, so this movie is technically a real-time sequel to the original Halloween. Being that, yeah, this movie is technically the real Halloween 2, except they called it Halloween. So yeah, set 40 years later, look, it's a simple premise. Basically, Michael Myers has once again escaped and is on a murderous rampage hunting down Laurie Strode for no real reason, and they've got to stop him. So straight off the bat, look, I'm not a huge Halloween fan, not as much as I am, say, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, but I did like the first Halloween a lot, and, you know, from then on, the subsequent sequels and things like, yeah, it got a little bit weird, a little bit iffy. And so by all rights, you know, another movie in this franchise this far along shouldn't be any good. We've just come to a point now where, yeah, realistically, it should be a stinker. But surprisingly, it wasn't. This movie is actually really good. Things I liked about it, they've really captured an 80s style slasher film. I mean, this movie has all your favorite horror movie tropes, teenagers doing drugs and having sex, girl being chased, falling over, you know, all of that sort of stuff. People making really dumb decisions like, oh, there's a noise out there, I'd better go and see what it is. But it also captured some of the tension and atmosphere that a lot of the great 80s slasher films did. There were some moments in this film that, yeah, I actually did find were quite tense, and there was a couple of really good jump scares in the film too. Performance-wise, I thought everyone did a great job. Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing. I'll get to her in a second. We had Judy Greer in the film as a character named Karen, who was Laurie Strode's daughter, and yeah, she was really, really good as well. But one of my favorite lesser-known actors of all time, Will Patton, was in this film, and I just love everything that guy has ever been in that I've seen. He's just one of these really charismatic, likable, laid-back kind of actors, and I was so glad that he was in this film. But yeah, this is Jamie Lee Curtis's film all the way. She was so good. Being that technically we've erased the entire Halloween timeline, everything post the first film, she's been haunted by everything that happened. She's been readying herself for the inevitable showdown with Michael Myers, and yeah, she's this bitter, twisted woman, but smart as well. Like, yeah, she's been preparing for what's going to happen, and everyone disbelieved her, but she knew what was going to happen. So yeah, you know, it's that whole vibe of everyone thinks she's crazy, but she's not. I thought Michael Myers looked great. Yeah, the mask looked amazing. All the sort of, it was worn and weathered like it would be 40 years later. And his whole presence, yeah, was quite menacing. Some of the kills in the film were quite good. Yeah, again, you know, very sort of typical 80s slasher stuff. Like, yeah, like I said, they really did a great job of capturing all the good things about 80s slasher films, but this is where the film's greatest strength was also its biggest weakness, because at the end of it, I just kind of felt like we've seen it all before. Even though it was done really well, it's like we live in 2018, and it takes films like Get Out, and, you know, a lot of these like really cool horror films that have been coming out lately to really impress us. So the new Halloween, even though it did its job really well, I just still had this sense of deja vu watching it. But I can honestly say, look, if you're a fan of the Halloween franchise, like if you're a diehard fan, you're gonna lap this movie up. It is a very worthy sequel. I don't mind at all that they've erased the timeline and this is the true sequel, because yeah, if it's gonna be done this well, then why not? So look, overall, you know, despite the fact that it had a sense of familiarity to it, I thought it set out to do its job and it did it well. So I'm going to give Halloween 2018 an 8 out of 10. Alrighty, so I'd love to know what you guys thought of the film. What were some of the strengths and weaknesses that you found with it, and where do you rank it in amongst the Halloween franchise? Were there any of the other sequels that you would have ranked better than this one, or did you think this was a return to the heyday of the first film? And while you're at it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you hit the red subscribe button down below, because quite frankly, I would love to have you join the party. And in the meantime, let me know what you thought of Halloween 2018. Drop me some comments either here or Facebook and Twitter. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.